Testing, we are live for the season finale at Suzuka for PSGL Formula Experience, and we're just going to wait for the race to begin. And in the meantime, we'll get the link of the stream shared out. But with the breathing of one man in this party, you have to wonder whether the pressure has got to him. I think it's Oogie Azim who's breathing very loudly in the background.
Hello.
You're right, Oogie.
I'm alright.
Yeah, that's good. Before we go any further, why is the mic so close to your mouth? I can really hear the breathing. I can hear every breath. Is that what Suzuka does to a man? Does it wear you out?
Well, yes. Also, my mic is kind of tricky, so it only works in certain positions. So when it works, I stop moving it and live with it.
No, I understand, my friend. I do understand.
Sensitive mic.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just going to share the link out.
Ah, there. Let's join then.
Yes.
How are you, Mr. Azim? Are you good?
I am good. How are you?
Not bad, thanks. Not bad. Another weekend over.
I know. Destroyed.
So yeah, as we're just listening in to drivers communicating to each other before the race at the moment, Oogie and Joel.
Talk.
A lot of tension, a lot of a bit of a debrief before the start of the race, a little bit of a breather, take the nerves off. Obviously Joliana Manu top of the leaderboards at the moment, but certainly not the favourite going into this event.
Due to my machine.
Due to his machinery, but also due to 16 other drivers in with a shout of winning the championship. So not long to go until we'll be underway for one last time in PSGL Formula Experience. And Cablo trying not to bin it this week. Game Freak is in and he says hello oldies, so I'm sure he's referring to himself.
Work.
Yeah, Wout Verriest, as he's known as. A good man, a good driver. A lot of Belgian fans tuning in today, supporting their hometown hero.
Kieran, may I say one thing about Wout Verriest?
Please do.
He is a guaranteed Instagram like, and I respect that man thoroughly. He helps the numbers.
Understood.
Is that Jack?
Is it? Jack? Is he still alive?
No, it's not Jack. It was Roddy probably.
Yes. The favourite.
The favourite. The chosen one.
How dare you stand where he stood?
In a pile of shit.
So yeah, nobody else in this party at the moment. Just Oogie, Azim and Joel, the other people, probably on their toilet seats looking to get rid of any last minute nerves and jingles.
Which reminds me, I'll be back.
So Oogie Azim there, obviously age catching up with him. Those bowel movements certainly not the same as they were a few years ago. Obviously a driver on the decline, but today could be a day where he could make amends and put himself up in lights for all the right reasons.
Absolutely.
Joel, what does Suzuka mean to you as a driver?
I think it's one of the ones that everyone sort of says is the driver's circuit. It's the one where skill dictates who does well, but for me personally, I've had no success here. Much like elsewhere, I haven't had really any success at all. But yeah, a lot of people like it because of that sort of real feel. But for me, yeah, I need Canada.
I like this track, but I have bad luck here.
You have bad luck everywhere, Mr. Azine.
Well, but like proper bad luck. I've led this race twice comfortably, but like once it was a 15-second lead and disconnected both times.
Yeah.
Yes.
So obviously a bit of
Twice
excitement.
this has happened.
Excitement for both drivers as they reflect on their past miseries around this figure of 8 circuit. It could be a long race, so I think there's been some shifts in car allocations. So Big C is now in the Sauber as well as AMS. Now that's been a change from the earlier proposal that was put in, but I'm sure discussions are currently ongoing.
Yeah.
That is
I
true.
thought AMS was meant to be in the Wilhelms.
So was Big C, to make it fair on you.
So on me. Good. That's how I like the sound of it.
Well, I was going with what the league admins have told me, so
League admins,
Fair
League admins.
I'm not running this league.
Let's have a close race. Screw the standings.
Exactly. It's gonna be a good occasion.
Set it to dry weather.
We'll see, Mr. and see when we get to the lobby.
So obviously we're listening into the 7-time champion at the moment, Big C. You know, a man of such experience, gone through the mileage, and he's looking for his 4th PSGL crown, looking to be the king of experience as he's put himself in the Sauber for this evening. And good evening to all our viewers in the stream, including Jay, Lewis Marshall, Gerard A, Game Freaker, and Gary Carr. I don't know who Gary Carr is, but he's tuning in for some Sunday night action around the streets of Margio Najidi.
Check your phone, Lordy.
Ooh. Everyone talk about the back deals that are going on. People asking to check phones. You don't get this on the real stream.
No, you don't. Obviously, you don't know what's been said between Lordy and Big C behind closed doors, but it's just an indication of how drivers sometimes work together during races, particularly those that are close allies. So it'd be interesting to see what messages are being exchanged and whether one of them would like to disclose what's been said.
And let's not restrict it to text. It could be images.
It's the Gale Force wins we're talking about.
The Gale Force wins
And
now.
it is a dry qualifying racer.
So dry qualifying and race. That should make things relatively interesting, but it does seem like it's going to be a very tight-knit affair at the top, and QPR beasts a man who's flown down from Leeds for tonight's race, you know, looking ready to dig into his last supper of the season. Just wait for cars to come out of the garage. I think I'm seeing movement down by the Sauber garage. There's a Renault coming up. No, the Sauber one. The Sauber's very quick to get out there. No messing around. It's AMS.
Lots of
Kerr, as he's also known as, rumoured to be the new incumbent. But we won't go any further into what that means. You've got Oogie Azim out there as well, the Rawalpindi Express. Oogie, do you want to share some words to your fans. You know, I mean, this is a track in Asia, and you know, a lot of fans have come down to support you for this race, Oogie. You know, just give them a few words.
बहुत शुक्रिया आप सारों के आने का। पाकिस्तान ने आज मैच में तो बहुत बुरा काम किया। अब हम कोशिश करेंगे कि इस रेस में we bring the Rawalpindi Express back into action.
So,
और
lovely words there from Oogie Azim of Pakistan. Oh. So a lot of drivers concentrating on their flying lap. You know, it's important to get a good lap in as early as possible. And Drebe has just commentated, it sounds like a Halloween broadcast. And Drebe has completely agreed with Oogie Azim's comments. Well, we'll ride on board with the 7-time champion. Big C locks up into the chicane as he looks to get some brake temperature into those front tyres.
And the DRS is not working.
So DRS failure reported on the car of Oogie Azim in the McLaren, a man who has thrown his toys at the pram earlier this week due to not
there's
getting
a
the car he
flying
wanted.
Force India spinning the wrong way.
It's Lordy Boy! Lordy Boy has just gone off. Oh, as he's just about to start a lap on those yellow tyres, he'll have to go back in, forcing cars to go around him, such as Blue Mosquito. But we will go back on board with Big C running in overtake as he goes into the deadness. I've not seen that before from a driver. Certainly pushing that Sauber to its limits. Good, braking into that hairpin, using a lot of that front load as the car undulates around the corner. This man is on an absolute flyer. We will keep an eye on AMS, who's one of the championship leaders also, but he is on the medium tyres, looking to get grips with the circuit. There are other title contenders as well, but the top four is Joel, AMS, Lordy, Big C and Game Freaker, and then drives with an outside chance Cablo and Powdy. Even Mr. Grumpy could have a bite this evening. So ride on board with Big C, looking to complete his lap time. Game Freaker goes fastest, and Big C puts in a 28.4, and it'd be good to hear from him to see how that lap went as he comes out of the first corner. Oogie goes fifth. What about Lordy Boy? No, yet to start a lap, so we'll stay on board with QPR Beast, and I wonder if Big C is back with us.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. How did that lap go?
Yeah, no, that was really good. I think other than the first corner, the car felt very, in tune with the circuit. The track temperatures are a little bit cooler than in practice, so just getting used to that. But no, that was very strong.
No, and that's very good to hear. Mr. Grumpy has crawled out of the woodwork here this evening. Mr. Grumpy, 1989, and look at the way he creases. That Red Bull that final corner. And no. I can't say it, but he's invalidated that lap in the Red Bull. I think he's been in Red Bull for each of the 6 races. Goes off a little bit there. But I'll tell you,
Red Bull.
Formula Red Bull, says Juliana Manu, but this could be a big race for Dale Keller, Mr. Grumpy, who could look to win his first title in a very long time. And I'm sure there's other drivers out there flying chrome. You know, a certain driver on the grid said bye-bye driver as this man flew off the race circuit last time out in Italy. But today could be a new day for Force India. The last time we'll see the Racing Point Force India on this game, as Vijay Mallya watches on from his cell. From out of the final corner, a little kink of oversteer to the line, and he goes third. That is a magnificent lap time from a magnificent man, the league admin. And I'm sure there's other drivers out there. Hulkenberger, no, not worth looking at, I'm afraid. 9th. on the mediums. And Dino and Mr. Grumpy still out there. Mr. Grumpy going back into the pit lane. No, he's going for another lap. He's gone for a lap. And he goes 9th there, so he'll want to get a set of these super softs on. I wonder if there's any other drivers who wish to speak to the media. Yeah, there must be a driver who wishes to speak to the media. What about a bit of Jody on who goes 4th?
Yes, what do you need to know?
How that lap feel in the Scuderia Toro Rosso?
Rubbish.
Rubbish, says Joel. He's not happy with his car allocation tonight, but he will have to make do with what he's got. A man who was known to race on Sundays, last time out in 7th gear, which started at 5 PM on Sundays. And so definitely a new day for Mr. Tuesday night to get in tune with. And we'll ride on board with the Force India. Lordy boy. Looking smooth at the moment. You can hear a bit of conversation there in the background. Shows some of the challenges these drivers are faced with. And Lordy Boy, I agree. Lordy Boy in the Force India, last time out he won a title was way back, I believe, in the F4 League back in 2013 or 2012, the youngest champion on PSGL by 28 days. This man has done it all. Won a few F1 races on the way as well. Notched up 100 race starts. Not many other drivers have done that in PSGL F1. Iran and Big C being the other two. There we go, Lordy Boy has to get the braking spot on here. And yes, he does. Gently does it as he drives to the line. And he goes 3rd. That's a very good lap time in the Force India. Pips ahead of Flying Frame, his experienced teammate for this evening. And Jerabe is wondering who are the in-race reporters. Well, let me tell you something, Jerabe. They are the in-race drivers. As we see Powdy kick up a bit of dirt as he breaks breaks into that final corner. A laptop. Obviously, Joe Liana Manu very giggly at the moment. You know, is this how you usually feel during a league race, Joe? Is this what it's all about in a league race? That atmosphere, you know, laughing, giggling, having fun, rather than taking it way too seriously.
That's exactly why I go extremely fast on the formation lap. Not to annoy Mr. Frome and Mr. Grumpy, but to have fun. So that's what it's all about.
Oh, off he goes! Powdy's just gone off and he's lost his front end plate. And look, he looks like he's just trying to slam his car into the barriers. This man, very, very angry as he kicks up some more dirt. Poor man. A poor man's Joliana Manu. That's what Powdy will be known as this evening. Unable to live up to his Irish counterpart. And he will need to fix that wing and come back out very, very soon. As Flying Throne puts it 5th and Oogie Azim puts it 4th. So some movement at last.
And Big C destroys everyone.
And Big C 28-0. Cablo's gone 2nd. Game Freak has gone 3rd in the Renault. It's a good lap for Woot Verrier.
It's a yoke.
The second faster.
What about AMS? AMS is on lap in the Sauber. This man is hungry for titles. The new incumbent. As he uses his horsepower to the run up to 130R. It's a good car to drive around this circuit, but for AMS, needs a good lap. And whilst AMS drives around the final corner, he should be putting it up there in the top 5, we reckon, maybe even the top 3, and does so. Top 3, spot on there. And we've got Lordy Boy, who's just coming out of the garage. Lordy, you know, what are you looking at for your next lap? Where do you want to put it on the grid?
Pole.
Pole. Nothing else. There's a man off. It's Mr. Grumpy. Mr. Grumpy. Mr. Grumpy is out of qualifying in the Red Bull Racing, and he will be starting from 12th or lower in the Red Bull Racing. 2.2 seconds off pole at the moment. It's not a good start for Dale Keller, as one of the most experienced drivers on the grid finds himself out of qualifying. And people are right to note that Big C's increased his advantage at the top. He's on a 28.0. This man could be taking silverware back home from South. You just never know. That's how tight it is. But loads of lap times to come. Not the easiest circuit to get a lap in. So many people to follow. QPR Beast. Would he be going for a lap? No, he's going right back into that garage. One last run. Oh, very dangerous pit entry there from QPR Beast. You know, Louis, do you want to just describe why you used that pit entry line? No comment from QPR Beast, a man who doesn't want to comment.
I'm out of fuel, Hulk, if you're watching the stream.
So, Jody on a minute out of fuel. Hulkenberger behind, looking to start a lap time. It's getting a little bit messy. Here's the Force India going around the outside. There's a Renault looking to start a lap. And Giuliano Manu delaying proceedings at the moment. As he trudges into the pit lane. So Flying Frame has put it third. So very, very interesting looking grid. Right on board with the Force India of Lordy Boy. This man needs to get a lap together. Spoon curve, such a crucial corner of the lap. And it seems like he's found the grip and found the purchase out of there. Has Lordy Boy somehow in the Force India as he goes into 130. Oh, you can just hear him breathing down the mic. Such tense nerves at the moment. Just about gets the direction change there. There's Lordy Boy to the line we go with the Force India driver, and he goes fourth. He pips AMS. Now that is crucial because there is I think they're both level on points with each other, so that is very crucial for Lordy, but that does mean he will not have time to do another lap time. So he's going to have to hope AMS doesn't improve. But AMS, a man known for putting in good qualifying lap times, is expected to respond to that. So we could have a tasty race-long affair. Who else to watch? Cablo in the Ferrari. Lordy, how did you feel with that lap time, mate?
Alright.
Good lap?
Nothing else to say.
No,
Yeah.
no, I think
Alright.
it's a good lap time. I think given that you're on a controller, on a pad, it's a very good lap.
Yeah, when you got to compete with an F2 driver in the same car when you're F4, I think it's a good.
Yeah, I mean, if we compare it to the FP season finale, Lickle Blocks, an F1 driver, was in the Sauber, and Tom AJ, an F2 driver, was in the Force India. But it's F4 against F1 this time around. But Lordy Boy, a very capable pilot, an experienced driver, a man who knows how to win titles. He's done it before. But will now ride on board with AMS. He could be putting his car somewhere high up the grid. As we hear silence, a lot of people focusing on their final runs. Joliana Manu coming very late out of the pit lane. Blue Mosquito has retired from the session, so 2 of the experienced F4 veterans already out of qualifying. So yeah, a lot of nerves for drivers now as they approach their final runs. Lordy Boy hasn't got another run left in him, so he will have to qualify 4th and see what that brings home for him. But I'm sure there'll be drivers behind looking to improve. It is so tight, and AMS, one of those drivers looking to improve. He's using a lot of overtake on this lap. He has got some traffic up the road. I don't know who it is up the road. I think it's a Sauber, so it's a bit of traffic, a bit of dirty air, and that just does affect you as a driver. But AMS using a lot of track, and I believe he is expected to improve here. As we go down 130R, the title contender AMS goes into the braking zone. Smooth as you like. A little bit of dirty air there from Big C in front of him. Where will AMS put it on the grid? I think he's going to put it right up there. He doesn't, but he can go for another lap. He can go for another lap, and he definitely will. He definitely will. But we're going to have to turn our attentions elsewhere and see who else is on that. Maybe QPR Beasts? No. Game Freaker! Oh, he's just put it in the wall, and that's not going to do him any good. He'll have to start from 6th or lower. Definitely not good for Game Freaker. Good news for Lordy Boy, and he retires on track, so his car will be an obstacle in the way. We'll turn our attentions to Oogie Azim. And Lordy, you know Oogie quite well. You know, you're hoping he doesn't improve. And that's a yes there from Lordy, hoping Oogie doesn't improve. Complete silence, a man who's worrying about his fate. So Oogie Azim crawls around the final corner in the McLaren. He could put his car in the mix here. And he does, he goes 4th. That's a good lap time. But there are other drivers out there. Big C, notably, coming into that final section of the track. Locks up, looking to improve. Can he do so? Onto the podium, goes 6th. What about Big C? Will he reclaim pole off Cablo? He can't. What about AMS? AMS to line goes 4th. AMS goes 4th. That is crucial. That is crucial. But what about QPR Beasts? Goes 6th. It's not good enough. But Joliana Manu, last shout of the session, I believe, for Mr. Tuesday Night. Joliana Manu, he goes first.
Joliana Manu!
What a lap.
Gets in!
And you can hear the elation as he puts it 3rd on the grid.
Fucking Toro also have that!
He is the championship leader, is Joliana Manu. So that is a crucial lap time for the Toro Rosso driver. And you can just hear the elation from Joliana Manu. He's put it 3rd on the grid. He's got it in his hands, but you know what? He's got cars behind him with a hell of a lot of horsepower, so this man will be vulnerable. But what it does cause a blockage. It does cause a bottleneck for some of the drivers behind to have a go, such as Lordy Boy and QPR Base. Obviously, Lordy in 8th. Not ideal, but this man has got a Force India, and he's got cars in front of him with lesser power units. So that'll be quite interesting to watch. But there's your top 10. It's Cablo, Big C, Joel, Frome, AMS, Oogie, QPR Beast, Lordy, and on to the podium. And also Game Freaker. Any of those 10 can walk away with a title tonight. But just going to go to Big C very quickly. 2nd on the grid. Are you happy with that? Yeah, I think he's happy. You know, these drivers, they don't want to talk, they don't want to engage. But one man definitely happy with his lap time. Joliana Manu as Gaming Alimondo tunes in. Joel, good lap. How'd it feel?
Yeah, that was pretty faultless, to be honest. I took the mic out and tried to focus because I knew it was very important. But yeah, I don't think there was much more in there. Just one of those laps, really, that everything goes right. So very pleased, very pleased.
No, and Joel, how does it feel to have a Love Island guest in Toro Rosso Garage, also known as Filthy Mora, sponsoring Cookstown sausages that have been handmade by Mark SP of Ballymoney.
It definitely just, it gives a bit more motivation. Just to want to try a bit harder. Or, as you so kindly put it, Filthy Mora.
Understood.
He is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, we're just going to have a look at the tyre allocations. So there are 4 drivers outside the top 10 starting on medium tyres who will be going very long into the race. That includes Blue Mosquito, Mr. Grumpy, Powdy and Dano. And you've also got Hulkenberger on the softs. But Blue Mosquito, Grumpy, Powdy and Dano all on the medium tyres. And now I'm just on board here with Joliana Manu. He's currently in 3rd gear. You know, for some unknown reason. Obviously looking to take a very slow lap at the moment. Doesn't want to chew up the fuel, but I'd definitely suggest he moves his gears up now, because that will damage that gearbox. AMS in 5th, title contender. Another title contender, Lordy Boy in 8th. Got his work cut out, so his opening lap will be extremely crucial. Very crucial. Ugyazim in 6th, a man who does like to pounce at the start of races, you know. Often can be involved in tangles with cars around him. It'll be interesting to see how he comes out from this. So, yeah, a lot of breathing going on.
Juan Pablo Montoya, oh yeah!
Yeah, it's important to get those tyres warmed up. I think those drivers on medium tyres will struggle a bit, such as Mr. Grumpy on the opening lap. But this will be an interesting race. Anybody can win the title. We won't talk about the standings now because I'm sure they'll come to fruition later on.
Ham and cheese, go.
The race.
Ham and cheese.
Yeah, ham and cheese. Looked over by the bread for this evening.
And the butter.
And the butter. And the
By the machine.
I can't believe it's not butter.
And the olives.
Machine.
And the olives in Lordy. But we are about to get this race underway.
Love him or hate
It's such a crucial fixture at the Margie and the GD. I just don't know who's going to emerge out of this in the lead. Tensions are rife. It's 3 lights, it's 4 lights, 5 lights. And the final supper is ready to be served. And Big C gets away reasonably well. As Joey's going down the middle of both of them. And Big C has to back out. And Joliana Manu takes the lead of this race, does he? And Cablo has to be pushed aside. And look at that, Big C, the 7-time champion, moves up into 2nd place. As the Toro Rosso darts behind him, flying Fromes manages to stay ahead of AMS. AMS looking to drive around the outside of the Force India. He can't surely make it stick, and he does. Flying Frome moves right out of the way for AMS. And AMS up into 4th place. Such a brilliant, clean start to the race. I think everybody's got away well. QPR beasts there, looking to make an assault there on Ugyazim, but Lordy Boy will need to clear the pair of them very soon, given that he's got a better power unit, so this might be a good opportunity to do so. There's movement here. It's QPR Beast and Ugyazim going side by side, and you've got Force India. Oh, Ugi's off! Ugyazim's off! The Rawalpindi Express has gone off the track. Oh my goodness me, and he's in 15th, and I just wonder whether we're going to hear from him on the mic there. It's QPR Beast! QPR Beast is out of the race! The wheels have come off at Toro Rosso!
Already.
And Filthy Mora cannot believe it! The Last Supper cut short as QPR Beast exits the scene with diarrhea.
Machine.
Yeah. But one thing that'll be crucial for a lot of these drivers will be to avoid getting corner cutting penalties. So a lot of these drivers will be watching their steps. But yeah, what an exuberant start to the race, and now QPR Beast has freed himself up to support with the commentary.
I'll do so. My apologies to Ugyazim. I tried to change the fuel mix on the curve, and I had to go straight for a minute. And And then so I'm very sorry.
Yeah, I can hear someone fighting with the wheel there, Jody on a minute.
Yeah, and Gold has had a bit of a moment.
Yeah,
He did. He did.
And I think AMS could be looking for an early pit stop to undercut. Obviously, the prime target this race is Jodion and Manu for AMS. Big C, the bottleneck
I've
here.
had a bit of a wheel issue with that. I just couldn't change the gear on the pedals.
There's an issue there with the wheel. Cablo will be looking to make inroads on Big C. Obviously, a differential and power unit here. Well, none really, because we have got 3 Ferrari powered cars running very close to each other. Lordy Boy also in 6th, a man who can still walk away with the crown here. He will need to clear Flying Throne very
Game
swiftly.
Freaker into 130R on Hulkenberger. No, he backs out.
No,
he doesn't go for it.
I'll have to have a look at Lordy Boy here. Obviously, he's got a lot of power.
Gold, there's no threat.
So no threat. Flying Frame out of shape. This Lordy Boy has got to go to overtake, and he's got to get this move done here. Oh, it's going to be a bit tricky.
I've got no DRS.
He's got no DRS. A bit tricky. He might have to yield that and look to get the up and under, and he can't. Flying Frame defends that well. So looking very, very tasty at the moment.
Whoa! Oh, nearly.
Big C nearly goes off
no
there.
DRS. I've got no DRS.
No DRS.
Yeah, it's just been enabled.
No, I've got none. Bringsburg.
Rear wing Vulcan, rear wing Vulcan.
The DRS, it's stuck open for Lordy Boy, oh no.
I'm sure he'll come back soon, Louis. But Big C definitely halting the proceedings.
I would have preferred the Williams.
AMS is going for a move here. Is he on Cablo? No, not quite, but he's got Cablo where he wants him. Oh, not quite. But for Lordy Boy, it's going to damage him quite a lot. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing something here. Mr. Grumpy has just lost 2 places to Ugizim and Tano. So Mr. Grumpy not getting up to speed with those medium tyres, creasing these courts around this circuit.
Come on, Throne.
Game Freaker's on the back of Hulkenberg again into 130. I'm not sure whether he's going to make a move. He's got quite a lot of closing speed. He goes to the inside. Game Freaker, will he back out as usual? Or will he go for it? He's going for it. He's made the move. Woot woot. Fantastic. Woot woot. He's done it. Love it.
Yeah. Brilliant move there from Voot Varese as he moves into 8th place. It really is a tight race at the moment. Jolyon Manu's just got to avoid picking up any corner cutting penalties. And he is in a good position, but at the moment Big C in 2nd. If he passes Joel, it won't be enough for the title unless Joel slips back, so anybody could walk away with the crown. Even AMS, who's in 4th. And we're seeing Lordy Ball close up to the back of Frame here. Louis, you know anything you'd like to say about that?
No, but what I would like to comment on is Cablo and the wobbliness, the undulation that he's experiencing in the car, and the degness. It's quite impressive. Having to correct a lot.
No, I do agree. I think Frame's closing up on the back of AMS. AMS is closing up on the back of Cablo, and Lordy's closing up on the back of Flying Frame. It could all come down to 130. It all could come down to who gets the best run out of Spoon here. Obviously Flying Frame setting that up for traction, but Lordy has got a good opportunity. If he shifts that DRS up, I know the DRS might be down. Is this going to pose an opportunity into the braking zone? Is he just too far behind? Oh, gets out of shape there, which is going down a little bit. Cablo's out of DRS range, so that does mean AMS could have a go here at the Ferrari driver, but traction not good enough.
I got past Throne.
He's got past Throne.
Lordy has managed to get past Throne, but Throne's coming back at him.
Yeah.
That's out there.
Now I'll tell you what, this is extremely crucial. If Lordy closes up on the back of AMS, this is basically what he needs. AMS looking all out of sorts. They're chewing up those rear tyres as the Force India closes and breathes down the neck of AMS. This could be one of the most crucial stages of the race. AMS struggling to get past Cablo, and there are yellow flags. I believe it's Mr. Grumpy. Mr. Grumpy has gone off again somewhere.
What a shambles.
And you can hear other drivers slamming Mr. Grumpy here in that news. Obviously,
Blue Mosquito. Sorry, is right on the back of Hulkenberg with Ujazin joining in at the hairpin. The Mosquito, will he send it? Hulkenberg has been struggling the whole race on the yellow marked softs.
No, well, Blue has got the power unit advantage, so that'll be quite interesting to see how that works. I am going to go to Lordy because I believe he is closing in
bollocks.
on AMS slightly. There's a bit of bollocks going on here. I think somebody must have done a bit poorly.
Cablo's up the pace.
Cablo's up his chuff.
I don't want to go to Cablo because I can see Lordy closing in. AMS is too far back at the moment. He's got to wait for the next straight. AMS goes a little defensive. He's struggling all sorts there. And a lot of curb taken by Lordy. This could be the moment here. If he makes this move, this could be the title. You never know, it could be the title, but he hasn't got the DRS. Oh, that's going to really harm him. Oh, just manages to avoid. Oh, that was brilliant, wasn't it, Lily?
It was fantastic, and even more fantastic is the pressure Blue Mosquito's putting on Hulkenberger. Dino's just got past Doogie Azim.
Yeah, I'm just.
Big C, I'll stop it.
Yeah, there's coughing going on here at the moment. Big C and Joel, obviously, you know, both frustrated. Big C thinks he can go faster, but Joliano is struggling, and this isn't the time to struggle because the pit stop window is coming up. We could see some drivers start to dart in for mediums. I don't know if it would be a bad time to pit because you come out in clean air potentially, but you know, with Mr. Grumpy struggling at the back, it's always a bit of a risk to go in this early. We'll just have a look at the gap to the leader, Mr. Grumpy, 13.7 seconds off. So if the leaders were to pit, they would come out in some clean air, but whether they've got the pace on those mediums, I'm not too sure. And Cablo looking to dine on Big C as we go through 130R here, Louis.
Yeah, Cablo's got some serious straight line speed. It's all bunching up behind Joliano Manu. Joel really has got the race in his fingertips. Will he drop it?
DRS is back.
DRS is back for Lordy, but I think he's too far behind to pose a challenge on AMS. Would have been better if he had it last lap.
Big C.
But it is all going to come down to the pit stops here. I just wonder who's going to go in and who isn't. AMS struggling quite a lot, and Lordy Boy certainly one of the men in the groove. You know, 6 laps for that DRS, Louis. That must be really, really bad.
It really is tough, you know, for a driver in F4. He's out driving the car, and when you don't have DRS, it makes it all the more
there's a
difficult.
fourth India! Fly zone! Oh!
See you later!
That was a lovely moment there. A flying drone, obviously flying off in the wrong direction. And AMS putting Cablo under pressure. I reckon the pit stop window will be very, very crucial. Nobody blinking.
One more Big C, do you think?
Batting in. Nobody batting in either.
I'd rather do the opposite to you.
Well,
I don't know if I'd get to the end. Should do.
Yeah, you will.
100%. I just wonder whether some drivers will eat their tyres out for the softs. We've seen that in the past with
Joel, you pit.
Yeah.
So rumours are that Joel's coming in, and AMS misses his braking, and this will give Lordy Boy an opportunity here. And there's a little bit of an issue.
Nice!
And Lordy gets through there. Brilliant overtake from Lordy Boy. And Joliano Manu's in. We've got to see where he feeds out. We've got to see where he feeds out, because I do know Mr. Grumpy is struggling there at the back end. But clean air, most likely for Joliano Manu. Louis, the risk here is, depends how quickly he can get those tyres up to speed. He can't spin out in the first sector because these tyres will be absolutely cold. He's got to be careful on traction a little bit until those tyres get warmed up.
He has got to be so careful, you know. There's a chance of the overcut for Big C and Cablo here if they get a move on. I feel like Big C's been held up behind Joel for a bit with a bit more pace to show. But I'll tell you what, who could get involved? Woot Veriest. He's had some amazing pace, Woot, and he's right on the lead train now, so if it comes down to it, you never know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what AMS, Lordy and Big C do. Obviously, AMS, a driver who's been relatively kind on his tyres, Previous F1 drivers have elongated their stint for the yellow tyres, so it'd be interesting to see whether that's something that he's going to do. I'm not saying yellows is the best way to go, but some drivers have deployed an aggressive strategy, as we see a bit of tumbleweed kick up in the background.
Indeed, and in the midfield battle, Blue Mosquitoes on the back of Hulkenberg.
Big C's in, Cablo's in,
Big C's in.
Lordy isn't in, so AMS and Lordy stay out, so they could be going for the overcut. So this is a very crucial stage of the Grand Prix. You just
At this stage,
yeah. Louis.
So I'd just discount AMS, to be honest, altogether, because Lordy's pulling away.
I don't know.
He doesn't seem to have very good pace.
He could get a penalty. Here we go. Where is Joel going to come out? He's come out in front of Big C. That is absolutely crucial. That is very, very crucial to his race. Now, Big C will struggle to get those tyres warmed up. And Mr. Tuesday Night pulling out all the stops. And they are going to be closing up to the back of Mr. Grumpy. He's only 6.8 seconds up the road. Cablo's lost a bit of time in that. And onto the podium, right behind them, Sticky Wilnut there for Ferrari. So Lordy and AMS could both jump Cablo, who was a bottleneck. It depends if they want to pit.
Cablo's having big issues getting his tyres up to temperature. He's really understeering everywhere.
Yeah, if Lordy pits, it could allow AMS to have some clean air to just elongate his stint for the yellows. Just never know. It'd be interesting to see how they're both doing.
AMS is renowned for his elongation of the stint. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a very long stint from AMS.
Yeah, I just wonder whether they're looking to go in. Now would be an okay time. I'm seeing Lordy Boy staying out and AMS. So both of these drivers elongating their stints. It'd be quite interesting to see where they feed out. Big C 1.9, second behind Jolion and Manu. And there's movement here as drivers enter the pit lane. It's Oogie and Holt. Who's going to win this battle, McLaren or Renault? Renault should win it, shouldn't they?
They should. On paper, they're the best match for each other. But you know, actually works out.
Not sure what that means, Louis, but
that's good.
Yeah, intense concentration here. And there's yellow flags. I'm just going to look to Mr. Grumpy. It's Mr. Grumpy.
It's Mr. Grumpy.
He's got to rejoin the track very carefully. Look at that Big C coming around. Kisses him goodbye. And yeah, both of these drivers definitely not impressed with Mr. Grumpy, and he will hold up Cablo. Cablo's had to slow a bit. And Mr. Grumpy.
Problems there.
Yeah, I mean,
Joel, it's likely they'll come out behind us on the source.
Yeah. Struggling a little bit is Mr. Grumpy. Hulkenberg is out. If a virtual safety car comes out now, it could really shift the race on its head. And I think both these drivers are coming to the end of their stint life. I don't know. I'm hearing Lordy's going in at the end of this lap. He's boxing. I wonder if he's going to put on the yellows or whites. I just don't know which way they're going. But I'm sure both of these drivers are in. AMS has lost a lot of time. He's lost a lot of time. He's surely peeling in. He's peeling in. Yeah, they're both peeling in.
They've got to go yellows, haven't they? And, you know, they're not in the mix unless there are penalties applied. So they've got to do something. And I see yellow. This is going to spice the race up from Lordy Boy.
Yeah, and you can call it yellow as Coldplay or Watch On in the grandstands. And we'll just see where Lordy Boy comes out. He'll come out behind Big C. Will he come out behind Cablo? This is crucial. Cablo marching down. Yeah, Lordy's got to give this one up.
No.
Yeah, AMS is the back one.
And AMS battling there. Sorry, that's flying thrown. So AMS has just come out. 3 cars behind. I don't know whose fucking right that is, but AMS.
Oogie. It's Oogie.
Right. Oogie, got it there, mate.
Kick him, Ewan.
I can't, I'm not the party host. Joel is. So I'm going to have to mute him. But Game Freak has got in front of AMS. He can't let AMS go down the inside. Oh, the respect that Wout Verise has shown. That is horrendous. Oogie,
sort your fucking mic out.
So Ugi Azim has
Hold on.
ripped it out there. A little bit of anger there with Ugi Azim using.
Is it better?
Yeah, that's
Thank
far
you.
better. And Ugi,
Sorry.
can we just have a word on your race because it's not going that well?
Sure.
What's happened?
I think now I will be able to undercut some of the people who were holding me up.
Yeah,
So it should be a strong second half of the race.
maybe, mate.
I have the
But
pace
yeah.
on the mediums.
yeah, it's too much to do for Benjod Marchod Racing.
Well, QPR sort of fucked my first lap.
Yeah, but that.
Yeah, the machine.
But that must be disastrous there for AMS because he went into the pits with Lordy and he's come out behind onto the podium and flying from and onto the podium. This man is also known as onto the bus, and I tell you what, if there's anything this man's going to do, he's going to make sure he spoils AMS's evening, because this man likes to get television coverage for himself. So onto the podium, you know, has got a car behind him on yellow marked tyre, but he's not yielding. Louis, would you yield if you was in onto the podium's position?
Absolutely not, Aaron. You've got to, you know, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And if you can't race to win, you race to spoil. And onto the podium, he is spoiling tonight. He really is. It's wonderful to see.
Yeah, we're getting very tasty there. AMS. It's desperation now, this man. If he wants to win the title, he needs to clear onto the podium. But he's got his work cut out with Jolion and Manu and Big C up the road. It might be a little too much to do. This man, labelled as the new incumbent. Is he going to go for a move here onto the podium? No, there's yellow flags. It's Mr. Grumpy out of the race.
Lordy on Cablo, round the outside. The chicane.
Sorry, there's contact. There's contact. Round goes AMS. The AMS into the gravel. As is onto the podium. Title hopes up in flames and onto the podium. Facing the wrong way round. AMS into the pits. He goes and he is not stopping. Out of the session he goes. That is it. Championship up in flames for AMS.
Versus Joel. Versus
Lordy's is Nets P3 now.
So
Lordy
it's Joel versus Big C versus Lordy Boy for the title. How things have changed as the new incumbent leaves the session.
2.5.
And I just don't know what's happened there. Onto the podium and AMS getting frisky, and you know what? We just saw it coming, didn't we, Louis? We just saw it coming.
We did. The way they rubbed horns at the hairpin really indicated. They really did, to be honest. Like the horns didn't actually strip them. When they rubbed tips at the hairpin, it just seemed like they were going to crash.
It did. It's a raunchy affair at the Margie and the GD. And Jolion in the fourth place, looking to take the crown. Big C holding his hand. He could be making a move.
Go.
Don't desync me. I don't like that.
I think Big C's done waiting around. And they've got to be careful because Cablo's still closing.
Oh, the closing speed. Surely into turn one. Is he going to go for the... Oh, so close. Around the outside. Big C goes. Joel sends out the inside. There's contact.
I'm sure that's fine.
There's contact.
I'm sure that looked like a racing incident. Looked like there wasn't enough grip to get through there. But
and now Big C is faced with an uphill challenge. Do you think he can get back with this lead group?
no, but that as any hopes of a title, well, that's gone at the hands of Jolion Manu as Lordy Boy now looks to pounce on his prey. And this is crucial. This is effectively for the win. And Jolion Manu hasn't got a hand to stand on. I'll tell you what, if these two collide, it could be me walking away with the title. If I am the championship leader. But there you go, Lordy Boy looking to make a move on Jolion Manu. Jolion Manu, 8 years in the making. And Lordy Boy knows what he wants to eat for supper. And the last supper right in front of him. And it's called Jolion Manu.
Surely. It's going to be an easy one around the outside. So easy. He's gone on the grass a little bit. And he backs out.
Yeah, long race, long way to go. Lordy has got the grip
It
of the
is, isn't
tyre
it?
advantage.
Big
But
C though. Just can't get past 3 minutes per hairpin. It's the chicane, but he's going to get him on the straight, surely. And I tell you what, he is only 5 seconds behind him. Owen, do you think he could still challenge Big C? Do you think he could?
I think this is
My,
a
my
man.
wheels turned off. My wheels turned off.
Jolyon Manu's wheel
no.
has turned off, and
Oh,
he's lost the
I've got a
position.
penalty, and my wheels turned off.
He's got a penalty, and
Oh.
his wheel has turned off. And 8
Oh.
years in the making, 8 years down the drain.
Karma.
Karma! Karma, according to Big C. And Mr. Tuesday Night won't be bringing home any silverware.
So if Lordy wins the race and I come second, does Lordy get the title?
And he does
yeah.
indeed. He's got 2 points ahead of you. So, Lordy boy, a man looking to rekindle his old days, his old glory days. But up in front, you've still got Powdy, Blue Mosquito and Dino yet to pit. And Big C now approaching the rear end of Cablo. And I wonder if there'll be any revenge taken on Jolyon Manu. Go Connor, says Jay Fletcher in the stream. And AMS has called it the Jolyon Manu coronation race. Don't know what that means. That Big C here looking to pounce on Cablo. I don't think he's going to waste any time. If he gets good traction, I think whatever way to make the move, Stick he'll make it stick. Or it's too far behind. Big C known for going for aggressive moves. Did so back in the day with HD and Ali K. Is he going to go for another one? Yes, he does. The track where he won his first ever PSGL F1 race. And happy days there for Big C. And Louis, why don't you say a few things?
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting this next stage of the race because people have penalties and they could really play a big part. And we see Powdy is going to be a bit of a cork in the bottle when Roddy comes up behind him. Not sure what he's going to do, whether he's going to let him past or not. But it's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, and further behind, you've got Blue Mosquito, who's just coming out of the pits onto a set of the soft tyres, absolutely buzzing in that cockpit is Blue Mosquito as he prepares to dig into the final portion of chips at the supper table for one last time on F1 2018. Few places in front of him, Uyuzim in ninth, so the undercuts worked that Uyuzim was describing earlier, undercutting some of these drivers, it's worked. And Big C now looking to take revenge on Jolyon Manu, and I think after Jolyon Manu's out of the way, I think Big C could be making a move on Lordy and looking to take the title for himself, because that's what will happen if Big C gets past Joe and then Lordy. Big C will be the champion. So this race still all up in the air, and I wonder how Jolyon Manu's going to treat his old friend here. Big C, they've known each other for 8 years. 8 years in the making. 8 years of friendship. And you just don't know whether these two are going to talk to each other after this race. After what's happened here today, denying each other a possible title. As Cablo closes up on the rear end of Big C. And I've just got to say this out of the blue. You know, Ugi Azim having a disappointing race. Some people have labelled him as a specialist in failure, and you just have to question why this man still continues after continuous disappointment. But you know what? It's the heart, it's the desire, it's the passion that keeps you going. No matter how many mistakes you make, it's how you get back up and how you keep fighting, and that's what Ugi Azim's done. And they're saying go to the inside. Jolyon Manu looking to atone for his sins as Big C makes the move and now prepares an attack on Lordy Boy. I think this is what the fans want to see. They want to see an exciting championship finale. as Joel surrenders and accepts his fate. But should Big C and Lordy have a collision later in the race? You just never know. Because Lordy's tyres will only get worse and Big C's tyres will only get better. One man we've not talked about enough, Louis. Wout Verreest in 7th place. Came in with a hope of winning the title. He just hasn't been at the races. Like a horse that's turned up to the Grand National with only 3 legs. It's just not going anywhere, and it just hasn't got the pace to stay with the front runners.
No, he's looked a bit like a fish out of water today, and he's been a bit too kind again to AMS earlier. He just needs to be a bit more ruthless to have a chance of winning anything at the moment.
Yeah,
in this day and age of league race.
What's wrong with Wout Verreest at the moment?
Oh, it's a tricky one here, and there may be many things wrong, but I can't diagnose them. I'm not a specialist in failure.
No.
So.
Oh, there's a contact here between Powdy and Lordy. I believe Lordy may have lost a bit of his end plate. Powdy absolutely struggling there like an absolute baboon on the race circuit. 19 laps on those mediums. I don't understand why he's staying out this long. This man looks like a wounded sheep, a wounded animal. Those tyres have gone through the mill, and you just wonder how much more dirt can this man take. Meanwhile,
I'll just say on the stream, Abby's a cunt.
who is?
Powdy.
Well,
Possibly the championship.
clear frustration there between Lordy and Powdy. Obviously, the closing in speed, it just shows, the frustration that drivers have, during the race. They don't mean it aggressively, but it just shows the instantaneous reaction certain drivers have during the race, the frustrations, the emotions that go through the cockpit. Lordy and Powdy, very good friends, but one race can change that. Meanwhile, Big C hunting down his prey, and I think Jodiana Manu could be under threat from Mr. Montoya behind him.
Yeah, Joel, Lordy has Pouncy and you're a Pouncy, I don't like that one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't have a penalty.
Okay.
So Big C here, will he get DRS off Powdy? I don't think so. Powdy should be in at the end of this lap. I'd be surprised to see him continue.
Yeah, just stay out, Powdy. Just do it.
He's
Fuck
gone.
somebody else's race up.
And Big C has nicked a bit of DRS, so this could get pretty tasty. Big C and Lordy battle. If there's something that happens between them, it'll be Joel who walks away with the title. As Flying Throne moves up into 4th, passes Cablo. Next up the road, Jodiana Manu. Surely Flying Throne won't interfere with the title battle. And Ugi now moves up into 8th, so the undercuts worked as well on Powdy. Are you delighted with that, Ugi?
Yes, I am. But he has supers.
Yeah, he has supers, but Ugi's been delighted. He didn't comment when we, lambasted him on the stream. Obviously understands that we want to see Ugi do well, and when he doesn't, it hurts. It's like a knife through the heart. You want to see one of your own doing really well. He's not able to provide the goods on this occasion. Flying Frame, hunting down Jodiana Manu, Louis.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment it's looking bad for Joel. It's a shame. He's fought valiantly, but 8 years in the making has led to nothing. Nothing has been made. Another P2 or P3 in the championship.
Well, he's
But you know what? It is better Aaron than finishing 4th in a 3-horse race. So give him that to get.
I agree with you. Jodiana Manu has had a glittering PSGL career, but I'll tell you what, there's still a while to go, and I wonder if Big C is going to close in the back of Lordy Boy. This could make things quite tasty. If there's a battle towards the end of the Grand Prix. Obviously, don't know how far Cablo is in the standings. He's on 19
He's
points.
1 point behind me.
So Cablo still a player in the championship battle, but as it stands, it will be going home to Lordy Boy. In fact, could be going home to Big C because Lordy's got a 3-second penalty and Big C is within range. So would 7-time champion take his first crown in 3 years?
2 years.
2 years. Or would it be Lordy Boy, a man who's waited so long for a chance at glory? Last time he had glory was lifting the constructor's crown, but the driver's crown would mean a lot to this man, to what Joel has called his best friend. And I think it could be curtains for Jolian in the move. I just don't know how we can keep these drivers behind him for much longer. Flying throne taking no prisoners, a man who has never got on well with Jolian in the move. And they've had issues in previous races where they've made contact in F2, but now the Force India has got the Toro Rosso exactly where he wants it, but just can't get the traction out of the final corner. Jolian Manu goes to the inside to defend. Will he return to the racing line? The closing speed is so dynamic here. Tries to have a go around the outside, he can't. Is he going to dart in on the inside? He cannot do so. And I just wonder who is speaking on the stream. And AMS upset in the stream at the moment. Upset.
Wow.
We've got Austin Muck on the stream as well. So a lot of people tuning in. Tune in with Joel. You know, Joel, how's the pressure of the cars behind you at the moment? How's it feel to have so many people breathing down your neck?
I've got no engine, I've got no fuel, and I've got no battery, so not good.
Not good, and you can just hear in the undertones of that Northern Irish voice that this man is not enjoying the occasion. Meanwhile, behind him, 60% of the battery belongs the Flying Throne, and there's only so much that Jolian and Manu can do. He needs battery down the next straight, but yeah. Flying Throne tries to go around the outside, and Jolian and Manu will shut that door. Shut that door, and he's got enough battery here to stay ahead down this straight. The Honda power against the Mercedes power. And he struggles to keep it together. Meanwhile, Dino passes Game Freaker, so Game Freaker probably going to leave with a P7 here tonight. And Big C closes in on Lordy Boy. Gap is now 0.4 of a second. Now this could be quite interesting. Big C and Lordy, good friends over the years, but when it comes to championships, when it comes to title, when it comes to glory, it's every man for themselves. Everybody wants a bite of the cake. Especially a man such as Big C, who has spent so many years going through the motions as he struggles with a lock-up, nearly creaming into the rear end of a Lordy Boy.
Oh.
There were rumours that this stream was going to go to C. Tice Demon Matt Romano. But he's on the graveyard shift instead as Flying Frame looks to make a move at 130 on Jolian and Manu. Jolian and Manu has to concede the position. Is he going to go for it down into the next straight? Oh, this man has to give it up. That Force India has got the position and he's going to run with it. And there's nothing this man, Jolian and Manu, can do. There's a bit of lag that's starting to kick in. Oh, it's going to be tasty. Into the first corner, Flying Throne. Jolian and Manu. Jolian and Manu going around the outside. Toro Rosso versus Force India. And look at that. A little bit of contact along the way. And this is getting really, really heated here. The Toro Rosso looking to stick.
Oh, what a phenomenal move. Jolian and Manu.
World class.
Oh, there's a bit of lag. Oh.
World class from Jolian and Manu. The lag kicking in. Oh, this is a recipe for disaster. Oh, and Cablo is going to make a move as well on Flying Throne.
What is going on?
And this race hitting new heights. I'll tell you what, Dano will be joining the mix here as they all scramble for their last podium position. It's like the last servings of the supper, and they all want a bite. But I have to go back to Big C. I just can't. You just know.
Aaron, don't worry, there's nothing to see.
Nothing to
Oh, Big C, go on. Please.
Yeah, Jolion and Manu encountering a bit of lag, flying throne, looking to make the move in overtake, and is he going to go for it around the outside? This could be quite interesting. There's contact. He's gone off slightly as flying throne. Is he going to stick it down the inside? Oh, he is. He's gone down the inside, and he will surely have DRS down the next straight. Jolion and Manu coming back at him around the outside. This is going to go right to the pit wall. They're going to go right along the pit wall here to defend. Flying Frame looking to make the move around the outside. He hasn't got the downforce to comprehend. Watch it from Cablo's POV. Frame out of sorts. Joel stays ahead. And will Cablo go for a move around the outside? It's do or die. And he doesn't. And Dano is now going to join the party. And now this is where things will get extremely tasty. And Big C attempts behind Lordy, trying to go for a move around the outside. Oh, there's contact! There's contact! Lordy's off! Lordy boy is off the race circuit. He's got to stick in there. There's 3 laps to go. He has got to stick in there. I think he's picked up substantial wing damage. But he's got to stay in there. And I'll tell you what, this race is going right down to the wire. We just do not know who is going to win this. And I'm sorry, Louis, for not letting you speak as much as you perhaps would have liked to. But it is heating up as Flying Frame has another bite at Joel. Joel can't let this position go. There's a wounded Force India up the road. And he doesn't.
Oh, drifting it, Jolion and Manu. This is wonderful.
And Dano. The Lordy's off. Lordy's off. And what about Frome? What about Frome? Frome's going to make the move, is he? On Lordy. No, he can't. He surely can't. Not through 130R. Not through 130R. There is a move. Lordy's off. Lordy is off. Oh, he's in the wall. The wing's gone. And now this title will go either one way or another. It will go to Big C or Jolion and Manu. I don't know who's going to pick up second place. It could even go to Cablo. Just check the penalties. Just check the penalties.
Check the penalties though. Of everyone in the top 4.
Yellow flag onto the podiums out. Lordy's in the pits. Oh no, it's heartbreak right at the death. And Big C, the new race leader with 2 laps to go. I just don't know how Joel's staying in there, running out of fuel. Louis, what are the penalties looking like for Joel and Cablo?
Joel has 1 penalty, I'm afraid, and Cablo has none.
So, as it stands,
Frome has none. No, Frome has 1, sorry.
Cablo 5 points behind Joel. So Cablo finishes first, Joel finishes second, and Big C finishes third. The title will go.
How is he that quick? I don't understand.
Oh, this is wonderful. Desync kicking in.
Oh, Frome's out of shape. Frome's a little bit out of shape. The TV.
Oh, it's a bit too close.
Oh, Cablo's off! Title hopes up in flames! Up in flames! Joel cannot afford to spin out here.
How am I P6?
Oh, this is fantastic.
Who's the Renault?
It's not the Renault, it's the Mercedes.
Yeah, but he's got the same amount of points as me. Like owns the race.
Oh, there he is. Oh my lord. Oh, this.
How many penalties for Wu?
Hold on, this is a battle. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone's commentating, not you.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of battles. It's all kicking up. You just don't know who's going to win. It's the final lap. How many? Jolion Manu's out of shape. He's losing positions left, right, and centre. And Woo Varese is up into 5th. And it could be Game Freaker. It could be Game Freaker who takes this title.
Game Freaker's got 2 penalties.
He's got 2 penalties. So Jolion and Manu, I don't know if Joel, I don't know where he's going to finish, but this could. I don't know who's going to win the title. He's just got to stay within the 5 second to 3 second window here. It's all kicking off. I think it could be Big C who wins the crown. It could even be Dano. It could even be Dano on 17 points. You just don't know. And I think Joel has just got to bring it home. But we are going to turn our attentions to Big C up the road. All kicking off right at the end. And Big C, the man looking to cross the line here to take the championship perhaps. There you go. Dano going for a little move there. No, he can't make it. He can't make it. Joel has got to stay within 3 seconds. Get the perfect run out of the corner. But it is Big C who crosses the line first. Frame second. Dino fourth. Juliana Manu second. And he has won the Formula Experience Championship.
Well done, Joel.
Level on points for Big C. And Juliana Manu is a PSGL champion in Formula Experience. The king of experience. Mr. Tuesday Night does it on a Sunday from Northern Ireland, from Ballymoney, and Cookstown Sausages sponsoring him here this evening, and it's gone absolutely well as Filthy Mora absolutely ecstatic in the Toro Rosso garage. It is Giuliani Manu who takes the crown. Unbelievable ending in PSGL FE. You just couldn't keep up with it. You just couldn't make it up. Contact between Lordy and Big C. It'll be interesting to hear from all of these impacted parties, but Big C wins in the Sauber. Giuliani Manu second, Wout Verist third, but unbelievable. It's Joel who takes the standings, and I'm just hearing in the chat, dirty as fuck racing. Some people are labelling it as, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, a title is a title, and that's how you want to win it. Giuliani Manu, a Formula Experience champion, a champion at last. 8 years in the making, and it's a big day. It's a precious day for Giuliani Manu. It might be Big C who wins at the centre of controversy, but Giuliani Manu, through it all, has come out on top. The first man to pit. He has done it, and he is champion. I'm just going to hear from Big C, the race winner, you know.
Yeah, Aaron, let me just check the standings.
Joel has won. I can confirm he has won.
No, yeah,
Joel has just finished second.
Yeah, that's 36, but 20 points plus 16 is 36. Well, I've got a second place. So
I've got a second place.
And Joel has just got a second place.
Oh
yes, that is very true.
Yeah,
and he's
Joel,
got
and I've got the fourth.
Yeah, as I said before the race. So yeah, Amos is wrong. Yeah, Joel does win it, 100%.
yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Joel's
This
the champion.
commentator does his research, unlike some of the other commentators on the site. But we will speak to Big C, you know, entertainment right to the end, and you've just managed to pick the win, level on points with Joel, but no title today. Feelings?
No, but I think it's been a good season, a very fun campaign, lots of good battles, lots of dirty battles. Hopefully this shuts up, you know, the likes of Mr. Grumpy and co, who constantly complain every week, oh, the young 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-olds, the dirty drivers, they're the problem in PSGL. Well, they're not. It's the game, and everyone's the problem, really. So hopefully that's highlighted a point moving forward. But yeah, overall it's quite fun, and I look forward to the new game. And obviously, congratulations to Joel on this triumph. Obviously, it's not like the biggest thing in the world, but you know, it's something to take away. You know, he had the Toro Rosso. To be fair, even like me in a Toro Rosso, I think would be quite difficult to win the race. So for Joel to do that qualifying lap and to defend as he did, you know, I think there's only there's not many people who can do that. I think Joel and maybe even back in the day could do that sort of drive. So it's, I think, thoroughly deserved. You know, a very slow car. You know, it's like 6 cents slower than
No, I do
Lordy,
understand.
so
Yeah.
very deserved.
No, well, thank you for your kind words, but we've got to speak to the champion, Giuliani Manu. I thought I'd give you a bit of a breather whilst letting Big C speak so you can gather your emotions, but you are a PSGL champion in Formula Experience. You're the king of experience, racing against so many experienced drivers in the league. How do you feel after that?
Yeah, as Big C mentioned, it's a small trophy. It doesn't mean anything at all, really. But that was probably the funnest race I've had in years. So that's my main takeaway from today, was that everyone was Everyone was on it. Everyone was in good form. Qualifying was intense. Perfect lap. Defending Force Indias and Mercedes and Ferraris and a Toro Rosso Honda is not fun. And the whole points difference between who's going to win the title. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that race back because that is a one for the dark ages, I think, definitely, with some of the moves going on. But yeah, very pleased to be the Formula experienced champion. Very fitting for a man who has very little experience.
Yeah, something you can show back to the grandchildren in 50 years' time, how you slayed the great beast, Big C, the 7-time champion. It could have been a good day for Lordy Boy, but contact with Big C meant he walked away with minimal points, and we didn't hear too much from him during the stream. Quite frustrated, but I just wonder whether he's back and has any words to share after what was an exuberant race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Big C robbed himself of the title more than he did me. But I wanted the podium. But I've got to
Joel
wait.
hit me off, so not really. I didn't do anything wrong.
What? Joel was right behind you.
What are you on about? No, he wasn't.
Wait,
I
no,
didn't
you
the only
did.
reason you. Yeah, well, how did I see how I robbed myself? Don't really get the comments.
No, because you could, if you would have got past, you would have got past me, wouldn't you? Because of the penalty,
Well, yeah.
and then I would have been second, and then you would have won the title.
Well, it was just a
Joel
race
would've
instant, but it's not.
Can I
It's just
finish?
racing.
I just want to talk.
So friends
bro.
arguing.
Well,
Let's just
we don't want to
continue
hear
this.
more bullshit.
So
that's
let's
all,
continue with Lordy Boy, because we are on Lordy Big C. You've had your chance to speak. So Lordy,
Let's talk about facts, not
can we-
bullshit.
No, understood. But Lordy, your car was hit off, in the opening sector by Big C. How did that affect you
I
emotionally?
don't know. Like I said, I wanted the podium more than I did the title, and I've got to wait until the next game, regardless whether it's my fault or somebody else's. So.
And you've been waiting a couple of
I've
years
had
for a
many
podium as well, so it would have been quite special for you. So I can understand your frustration with that.
I drove the wheels off the Force India. I was the quickest on track. If it weren't for the damage with Powdy, I would have stormed away, I think, to be honest. But Powdy's a bit of a mong for staying out so long. When the super softs go 10 laps and he pits on lap 20, so I don't know. People
Sounds
have
like
their
a poem,
strategies.
with two rhyming couplets.
Well, yeah, I'm happy. Well, congrats to Joel. Like he says, it doesn't mean a lot, but it's always satisfying to win.
It is satisfying to win.
So yeah, well, congrats to him.
No, and congratulations to everyone for putting on a great season in Formula Experience. The Last Supper has come to an end. Dessert has been served, and it is the final stream of F1 2018 in PSGL, and we may see you again soon.